we are, San Francisco, our 5th day of traveling together, Manuel, and we're off to Holt Tool and Machine.
Holt is since 1933.
So between you and this company, you've seen the evolution
Yes.
of machine shops. And what were the critical moments that you kind of saw and how it's evolved from all the way up to where you are now?
I think the biggest transition was the 5-axis machining.
Yep.
Holt had, at one point it was just manual machining. In the 70s, it bought their first CNC machining, which were still one of the first CNC machines built. And but then which it helped the company at the time, and it helped it for quite a few years. But when we got our first 5-axis milling machine, it was nothing like before. It seemed like now you can do everything. We served the defense department and space.
Okay.
And the tolerances. I made a part once in the Hermle 250, which is the smaller one that we have.
Yeah.
And there was one close tolerance of 1/10 diameter, which we didn't feel comfortable doing it. Maybe we could have achieved it, but we sent it to the best shop in the Bay Area. That's a jig grinding shop.
Okay.
And they work within millions. And the owner of the shop called here and he said, I want to talk to the guy that made that part. He said that part was perfect. He said when he indicated on his setup, he couldn't find one flaw in it. It was square, round, all good. This operation, we tried into another machine, 5-axis mill turn.
Yeah.
Which in the same machine was done with the turning part. We wanted to mill it because it's a mill tool. We wanted to do everything. And we burned the tool in the first try.
Wow.
One tool could not do one part. And I called the manufacturer of the tool. He came over. He made changes on the speed and feed. He said, run another one.
Yeah.
And we burned it again. And he said, it's impossible. It has to work. And then I said, you know what? What if I try in a milling machine?
Yeah.
I have a Hermle open. He said, let's try it. I'm still running the same tool.
Oh, that's the tool you mentioned earlier?
I'm still running the same tool as before.
So how many parts did you go through?
Over 140 right now.
Wow.
I still have to make 50 more. The accuracy of this machine is incredible. And I'm not sure if it has something to do with air conditioning that we have in here. But one of the first jobs that we did on the machine, we had to do 12 round parts, which they were castings.
Casting, okay.
But close dimensions, like 5/6 tenths on the diameter.
Yeah.
And having the option of machining the part and then inspecting with the probe. Of course, we calibrated the probe,
Sure.
and then you know right away how much of an adjustment to make.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And on that job, none of the 12 parts that we made had to be re-put on the machine to be remachined. They came out perfect.
At Hermle, we talk a lot about step up, and invest in tomorrow. How do you interpret that in terms of there's maybe a lot of people out there who, there's a lot of options for a 5-axis machine. And Hermle is a little bit more expensive. How do you justify that?
Every machine that you buy out there, and I believe that if you do good work and then if you're honest, most likely the company will have money to invest in any equipment, even if it's a little more pricier. How you justify the price is the service. If a machine breaks down and then half of the time doesn't run because the service doesn't get in time, or the personnel that comes and fixes the machine is not qualified, you're losing time and money. Having that said is that with Hermle, very rarely when the machine, and any machine can break down, but then it's brought back to life and ready to go in a record time.
So for
like
you,
I
it's
say.
almost like you can't afford not to have a Hermle.
You cannot afford not to have an Hermle. You cannot afford to have a machine that's not running.
Yeah.